have such sights to show you.
You're all going to die tonight.
Good evening, my sweet tortured souls. The Halloween season is lots of fun, but around here, you fuck about, you'll get a pineapple up the bum. It is, of course, Miss Violet's Underworld, deeper, darker, and pineapple-ier. Joining me, as always, the most tortured of tortured souls, the speaker, Jimmy Clifford. How are you doing, honey?
I could be better. I could be worse.
Down here, that's definitely a phrase to live by.
It
Are
is.
you, are you carrying your own head in a basket? No, Rodian, you've got it better than most.
I've got to bear with most. I got back out the store cupboard again. So
Yes, yes. We all know about your adventures in the store cupboard with a certain Miss Scarlet. It's all she's talked about all week.
I was looking for the other store cupboard, but it's not cold enough yet.
What happens at the office party stays at the office
Stays at the
party.
office party, people.
But yes, of course, as always, we're going to go over to the screams of the damned from the comments section. Up first, just a quick comment from the man, the myth, the beard, the legendary Ginger Ninja JK. And he says, I'm a week behind and playing catch up. Work has been an absolute pineapple. Pain in the ass, then. I like how that's catching on.
Yeah, that is catching on, that one.
Up next, again, from the Ginger Ninja, Bubba Hotep. Mwah, absolute gold. I added the kiss, but he's very right there. Bruce as Elvis, fighting a mummy, say no more. I am sold. Don Coscarelli has just an amazing mind. If you haven't checked out John Dies at the End, talk about oddball horror. I have not, but now it is on my list. So thank you, JK.
We've added one to the list.
Yes, it's a new one on me. The other Don Coscarelli films that I do want to cover, it's just I need to get hold of them first, is the Phantasm franchise. There's 5 of them that started in 1970 and then ended in the, about 10 years ago. So there's quite a gap between sequels.
Yeah,
So
I've definitely heard of the Phantasm series, but again, these are going to be first watches. But that's
yes.
the
Well,
bag here.
just to sum it up for you, if you have seen any kind of quick little flash clips of like iconic horror scenes, it's a metal ball with 2 prongs coming out of it and a drill bit that hits you in the head and
I remember some things about
you've
that.
probably seen some clips
I've
about it.
probably seen clips.
So
I've probably seen clips on that.
moving on.
Moving on.
Hatchet, love it. Very much a homage to the classic horror we grew up with, an awesome cast and fantastic special effects. Adam Green is a legend, and the sequels are just as, and in some cases, yes, I love Hatchet. I've seen them kind of out of order. I've seen the first one, the third one, and half the second one in that order. So
I've seen number 1.
I'm kind of a little bit out of order with that, and I do need to rectify that.
I've only seen number 1 because I've only become aware of it on this channel.
Yes.
I am interested in the others.
Yes. But just a little side note for Adam Green. If you search for him on YouTube with the tagline Scary Sleepover, you can watch, I think it's 2 or 3 seasons of him having famous horror faces come and join him for a scary sleepover. And me and Jimmy sat and watched one after we watched Night of the Living Dead, the remake with Tony Todd. And I showed him the scary sleepover episode they did with Tony Todd. And you get to see a side of Tony Todd that you don't normally get to see. And it is worth the watch. If you've never seen it, go check it out on YouTube.
These are something I'm looking at in my breaks and when the small amount of time I get, I'm trying to look at things like that now.
Moving on, Planet Terror. I cannot say how much I adored this movie. It is so much fun, gruesome, sexy, fun, but still Oh, fun, but still fun. Sorry. Yeah, sexy fun, but fun.
Sexy fun, but still fun.
I misread the plot. The whole setup, cast, and the filming, amazing. This is a near perfect horror. Yes, yes, yes. And I think what does it is I think it was an interview somewhere with Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez together, said they kind of grew up in that age of like these grindhouse movies that would be shown at drive-in theaters.
On double
Yeah, and
features.
you'd look at the poster and you'd be like, oh, wow, that looks like it's going to be amazing. And the film did not deliver on what was on the poster. Sometimes the poster was just a straight up lie. So they wanted
Yeah.
to do a homage to those grindhouse movies where what you see on the poster is what you get in the movie. And I'm so, so glad they did that. And I think more directors should take that approach of just like, you know what, fuck it, let's remake this, but let's just turn it on its head. Turn the absurdity of grindhouse sometimes and just turn it up to 11.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, that's exactly that was part of the trivia I actually forgot in the episode. That's why Bruce Willis shows up on the poster, because that was Grindhouse's thing. They'd have a big star, but they'd be in there for like 2 minutes.
yeah.
So when they did that, that's why Bruce Willis is in the film, and that's that little bit longer. It's like, that's the big star. We'll give him a bit of screen time. They actually delivered on that. So yeah, very cool.
Awesome picks. Have a good one. And on to this week's episode, which he did comment right up. So the next one is also from JK.
More from JK.
Yes. And back again, and welcome back, Miss Violet. Yeah, Scarlett taking over for that week. I don't think she's got it in her to be a full-time host. She's a little bit too uncontrollable. She's a little bit too uncontrollable. You know, she puts the in unstable. You know what I'm saying? She's not all there, bless her. You know, when you've got 1,001 personalities floating around in your skull, I'm not surprised she's a little bit hee. A little bit Michael Jackson, apparently.
Tangent alert.
No, we are not going there tonight. Anyway.
No.
Hope the hangover has subsided. It took a couple of days. It was that stark realization when you wake up 2 days after a long drinking session and go, why am I still feeling a bit?
Yeah.
That's when you start to realize, you go, oh shit, yeah, it's because I'm 20 years older since the last time I did that kind of behavior.
It's that episode in Tangent. It's that episode of How I Met Your Mother, when Barney Stinson goes out and does all the things he could do when he was 20 that he's trying to do at 30 and 40.
Yeah.
And you suddenly realise you can't do this shit no more.
I felt like Murdoch from Lethal Weapon. I'm getting too old for this shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the comments. And hello to Jimmy. Glad to see you survive last week. As in, you survived a week with Scarlett, which I'm quite surprised.
Yeah, I survived a week with Scarlett.
Reanimator, great cast, and Jeffrey Combs can do no wrong. Too right.
Yeah.
And in the ageless Barbara Crampton, and I'm all about this film. Yes, it is one of my all-time favorites. I watch it sort of 2, maybe 3 times a year whenever I kind of get the urge for like I've got a body horror itch to scratch, and that one for me is perfect because it starts a little bit zombie, and then the bit with the tentacles and everything, and the severed head coming alive on its own. It's very abstract horror, and I'm all there for it.
Honestly, I don't have many DVDs, and I certainly didn't have many DVDs in the horror section.
Now you do.
Well, considering we've got coming up later, we've got another H.P. Lovecraft we'll be mentioning. I'm starting to think I might be getting a section in the DVD collection for that.
Yes. Life Force, yes, love it. Watch this a lot. Too many times. and at way too young of an age for dot 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 reasons. Yeah, I mean, there's two reasons I can think of.
I can think of a couple.
Yeah, you make a good point.
Very good point.
Anyway, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, classic. Say no more. Love it. Yeah, that was kind of like when we got to it. It was like, look, do we need to go over the plot of this film?
Yeah.
Like,
If you
this
honestly,
film
if you're in 2025 and you don't know the plot of the Body Snatchers,
this
then
film
you
is
are obviously
made somewhere
yeah,
out there in the public zeitgeist. There are sections of this film that are just ingrained in society. Like,
yeah.
you say pod people instantly know you're talking Invasion of the Body
Body
Snatchers. It's just
Yeah.
one of them things.
And
You know?
if you are one of these unfortunate folks with the birthday of the zero and then something after it, and you don't know what this is, go and watch it. Because
Yes,
honestly,
if you've never seen this version, even the original black and white 50s version, but if
yeah,
you've never seen this specific version of it, please, 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 I urge you,
highly
go and
recommend
check
it.
it out because despite its age, despite the special effects, you have to take it as it's a time capsule of the fears
Yeah.
we had back then. And it is such a brilliant film.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving forward.
All these movies I own, and they are amazing with amazing cast, and it just goes to show the caliber of actors that are involved in both horror and wait, have I jumped forward? No, no, sorry. In horror and Star Trek.
Yeah.
From Beyond. I need to own this because this I'm losing my plot here.
Did you have one of those?
Somewhere in the midst of time. Right, let me start again.
Start again. 3, 2, 1.
All these movies I own, and they are amazing with amazing casts, and it just goes to show the caliber of actors that are involved in both horror and Star Trek. From Beyond, I need to own this because this is just completely bat doo crazy fun, slimy, gruesome fun, plus Barbara Crampton in BDSM leather gear. Say no more. I don't know why, but when I read that "say no more" part, I can't help but think of the Monty Python sketch. You know,
Yeah.
what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I
You know
can't
what I mean?
help but say it like that. Like you know what I mean? Or say no more. Just anyway. You mentioned Crow opening a can of worms right there. Fucking yes.
Yeah.
We may have to cover the Crow sequels at some point just to show how to take a franchise not only off a cliff, off a cliff in a flaming car that's gonna land and set off a nuclear bomb. But anyway.
Yeah.
But I will refrain from it. Thank you. That's a future episode for us to rant about.
Yeah, yeah. I think the first two, I don't know about you, but the first two,
no tangents right now.
yeah, no, they're great. And yeah,
suffice to say, Jimmy ain't wrong. Wicked prayer over the steaming pile of trash that is the Crow remake. And that is it from JK. On to the top comment of the week, steaming from Honey Geek is showing yet again.
It keeps coming and stealing, doesn't it?
They say that imitation is the highest form of flattery, is it not? So, anyway, it comes from, this comic does come from, get my words out again, the balded-headed wonder himself, the man with the gappiest of tooth, the Calico Crichton, the son of the Pertwee, the man himself, Mr. Tony Harris, with his comment, and he says, "Hi
guys." Hi guys.
Episode as always. No mention of the great William Shatner and the Amazing Kingdom of the Spiders. Deary, deary me. He also starred in a brilliant and as I said, and a brilliant mid-70s movie called
Yeah.
The Devil's Reign, and had a great cameo in Airplane 2, the sequel, where he displayed his comedic side. Loved all the movies you did mention, though. Thank you. And they
Like,
are
oh,
as follows. Here is his rundown of the films.
one down.
Reanimator was a really gory hoot and one of my favorites back in the day. I can still see that big VHS box now sitting on the video library shelf, hardly ever moving. It was kind of a bit of an underrated gem back
Yeah.
in the day, although it was semi-profitable for the studio. It took a while. I think it was like 3, 4 years for the sequel to come out. And
It
then
was one of these when I did go into Blockbuster and I was walking around, and usually I had like my dad and my mom maybe in the background. I'd see it and I'd look at it and they could see I was like eyeing it up, but they were like, no, that
no,
goes back
no,
on the
not for you.
screen. That's not for you. Not yet. There was a time that came and now I've seen it. No, that's a good, it's a really good
Yeah,
film.
banger
I
of a
do
fucking
like,
film.
as I said, From Beyond just ever so slightly better.
Yeah.
But
Anyway, Life Force was also an amazing film. Reminded me a lot of Quatermass and The Pit, especially in the London in chaos scene. Visually, it was absolutely stunning, and special effects wise, it was way ahead of its time. My favorite by far, though. Oh, sorry, stop there. All right.
big too far.
Wait, yeah, wait, the special effects are way ahead of its time. Yeah, that was the one thing we kind of talked about on Life Force was like
Yeah,
the practical effects of like the way that the vampire guy came back and then the way the other one kind of shrunk back in and like,
yeah,
like it was so well done.
yeah,
I bet it was done so easily and so simply and
yeah.
you wouldn't even think of like, oh wow, okay, that's kind of it's gonna blow my mind a little bit.
Probably dead simple. I'm still trying to work out how they actually did that. And that was a really good effect, and it
Yeah, it
still
still
does
holds
hold
up.
up.
It does still hold up. Yeah, that is one thing you can say about Life Force. The special effects definitely do still hold up.
I think just the whole thing was just a little ahead of its time.
Yeah. If that had come out now, people would probably get it.
Yeah,
But right, moving on. My favorite by far, though, is the 1978 remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, starring the wonderful Leonard Nimoy.
yeah.
Not Lemon Nimoy.
Not lemon. Yeah, not lemon knee boy. No pies today.
A brilliant and rare example of the remake being as good, if not slightly better than the original. See, this is what we keep discussing that there are
Yeah,
remakes that, although we're in the age of like, oh, a remake, let's trash it online as much as we can. There's a lot of films that are beloved to us that are actually remakes. The Thing,
yeah,
The Invasion of the Body Snatchers, The Fly, even Scarface is
yeah,
actually a remake.
yeah.
So there's all these films that were like, oh, I love the original so much. Guess what? It's not the original.
Not the original.
Just,
It's
just
like that in music as well, because I'm noticing that among some of the guys that talk music, and I'm like, well, that's actually a cover.
do you know what? I used to be that bitch. Like, if these things come up in conversation as a group of friends, and someone go, "Oh, I love the original Fly," and I'd go, "Oh, the one with Vincent Price," and they'd go, "Who?" I'd be like, "You mean the Goldblum one?" Yeah, no, that's not the original though.
Oh, no, that's not the original.
And then I'd be the one sat there with a drink, going on a rant, like, "Well, fucking actually."
Yeah. I was that guy the other day at work when they were like, they overheard All Along the Watchtower, Jimi Hendrix. All right. Oh, I love this original. All right. That's not actually the original. Bob Dylan did it first.
Yeah, but anyway,
But anyway,
moving on.
moving forward.
From Beyond, I have actually seen. Oh my god, he's
Dun,
actually
dun,
seen one.
dun.
He's actually seen one.
Yes,
Well,
Tony.
you know what? It's Halloween. Everyone deserves a good scare, and you just scared me there, Tony, because you actually saw a film we've talked about.
Yes.
It
Well
was
done,
bound to
Tony.
happen. It was bound to happen. I'm taking the
What
piss.
after this?
There's 3 examples of films on here that he's watched already, like ahead of this. So it's nothing new that he's watched the film we've watched. It's just the way he's pointed it out. It's like, wow. Anyway,
No, he needs to do that more often if he's seen it. I've done that one.
but he does go on to say, From Beyond, I have actually seen, but not since the 80s when it first appeared on VHS. I do remember enjoying it, but I think I need to revisit it and sometime very soon. It's Halloween. Get it done, Tony.
It's a good time.
As always, I enjoy the chat and banter between you and Jimmy Lee, and thank you for helping me through a typical Saturday morning. Looking forward to your Halloween episode. Until then, poodle pip. And that is it from the comment section tonight. So, I suppose we should get this shit show a rocking, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Let's get into tonight's episode. We with it being the season, I thought we'd do what I tend to do most Halloweens is start the day off slow when it comes to horror. Watch maybe something like in the morning, like Trapdoor. It's slightly scary, but it's kid scary.
It's not that. Yeah.
It was scary when you're a kid. It's fucking funny when you're an adult. Then throughout the day, I would move forward and do some, it's kind of a war of escalation. Each thing would get more adult and more gorier as the night went on. Now, originally, we did plan this to be 4 films, but due to falling behind, The Frighteners did not get watched.
An honourable mention.
It
is now added to my Tony's list.
Yes, we're adding it to Jimmy Lee's unicorn penis over there. Yeah. It's the first one on there. It's the first one on there, The Frighteners.
Yeah.
So I decided, well, let's just step things up from the fucking get-go, shall we? The very first film we watched for our Halloween episode, this one here that you're currently watching. Although by the time we release it, this is Sunday, so it's technically not Halloween.
Yeah. The whole
time wibbly wobbly bullshit.
The whole time
Jeremy Baramy, if you know that reference, get back to me. Anyway, the first film we watched in this order of our horror films was the ever so classic 1985 release of The Return of the Living Dead. Now, this is sort of a spin-off, sort of a sequel. I think I heard George Romero actually say this is a meta sequel where the events of the film that he made are based on a true story, and this is a follow-up to that true story. So take that with what you want. But giving you the numbers over here, we have Return of the Living Dead, released August 16th, 1985. Budget of 3 to 4 million. Box office 14.2. So fairly successful.
Relatively, yes.
Starring Kluge, Tom Matthews, James Cameron, and Don Calfa. Now, I'll quickly cover the plot of this. As stated, it's told at the very beginning of the film in You Need a Medical Supply. A young boy, I can't remember his name. Oh, Freddie, that was it. It's been a stacked week. It's been a stacked week. It's been a stacked week, everyone. Back off.
It's been very stacked. That's why one.
Anyway,
but moving forward,
getting it on. Yes, Freddie, played by Tom Matthews, is with his new boss, I guess, manager.
I guess he's the supervisor because technically there's a boss.
But they work in You Need a Medical Supply, and they're talking about skeletons. It's his first day on the job, and they've got to pack skeletons and stuff. And during a break, he tells them a story that down in the basement of this building, they have these containers that hold the bodies from Night of the Living Dead, because it was based on a true story. And the true story is that a company called the Darrow Chemical Company accidentally leaked a chemical called 2,4,5-trioxin. And in the manager's words, it made the bodies jump around like they were alive.
Yeah.
So the film, apparently the government said, oh, if you tell the truth, we're going to sue your ass off. So for Night of the Living Dead, they changed things around, made it a bit different. So yeah,
It's daft as it is. It's almost as if the Night of the Living Dead is made as a film as plausible deniability
kind of. But
in the
they
reality
go
exists.
they go down to the basement to check on these said barrels. After smacking one on the side, saying, "Look how sturdy this is," it breaks and sprays the gas right in their fucking faces. And thus begins a night of zombie filled carnage, very dark fucking humor at some point.
Yeah,
But this film is just a riot from start to finish. The gore, brilliant. The effects, brilliant. The dancing in the graveyard by just just go and watch this film, honestly. Because it is so, and the ending is fucking bleak as shit, and I love it for that.
yeah. No, this is
But Jimmy,
this
let's
is
move this train along. Your thoughts on The Return of the Living Dead, watching it for the first time in 2025.
well,
Does it hold up some 30 years
I
later?
think the
No,
first thing I should
40
say,
years later.
yeah,
This film's 40 years old this year. Does it hold
yeah.
up 40 years later?
The first thing I've got to say, because this is a first time watch, right? And clearly I've missed a thing or two, and now I'm catching up. Brains.
That's where it
Now I
comes from.
understand the reference
That's where
entirely.
it comes from.
That's where that's
Yeah,
from.
that's
Why
where it
they're so
comes
interesting. This
from.
film obviously
Brains.
yeah. This introduces that particular trope of zombies
Yeah,
or that brains and gives it the deliverance of the, what the vegetarian zombies are after, grains.
brains.
And that's where, it's like nice to finally catch up after only 40 years.
Yeah, it took you 40 years to get around to watching it. That's okay.
40 years, but at least better late than never.
Yeah,
No,
I
this
mean,
film was it's billed when I was doing the research, it is billed as a comedy horror.
yes, it's
It
definitely on that
definitely
level.
delivers
That
dark
that's what I mean.
comedy.
Like, start the
Yeah,
Halloween night off nice and easy with a sort of comedy
nice and
horror.
easy. It's and I'm the guy that didn't used to do zombie films.
And now look at you. You've watched
And now
all
look
the
at
Night of the
me,
Living
just
Dead.
because
You've
I'm
watched
in
the
here.
whole Romero Dead franchise. And now we're on to the Return of
Yeah.
the Living Dead franchise.
And speaking of that, I mean, you did say about the little bit of trivia. This basically is the film that introduces that you've got the Dead series and then you've got the Living Dead.
Yes, because
Because there was a whole argument over this.
well, it was sort of a disagreement of which direction to take the franchise. So the pair decided amicably, and I have done my research on this. It was amicable between the two of them. They both said, right, I'll do this with it and use this name. You can do that with it and use that name, and that's what they did. Which is why
So literally,
in future interviews, when George was asked about it, he said, "I see it as a meta sequel because my movie Night of the Living Dead is
is
mentioned
the
as being
actual.
a movie in that universe."
Yeah.
So, if anything, it's a meta sequel. That's why I said that earlier.
And that's
So,
if that is accurate and it was amicable, that similarly shameless plug, going back to the Bubba Hotep, that's exactly what happened with Bruce Campbell and Don Corskally. They couldn't agree and disagree on a sequel for Bubba Hotep,
yeah,
which is technically still in the works.
yeah, it's in
And
development
rather than
now.
sacrifice a friendship over a film, they decided to separate and let you do that. If you want to do that, I'll do something if I want to, and amicably carry forward. So effectively, Night of the Living Dead spawned two franchises
Yes,
branching off.
the Dead franchise
And
and the Return of the Living Dead franchise.
and that's
The
honestly
second one, though, I will say this ahead of time. If you're going to go into the franchise, the second one is definitely more comedy than horror. The
right. So that
third
means
one, the third one, it's one of my favorites because it's a it's a semi-serious take on Romeo and Juliet, but what if Juliet was a zombie?
So a kind of a warm body. What is that? I think that's the right film. Warm
Warm
bodies on.
Bodies. It predates it, but it's taken more seriously, and I love that film just because of again the practical effects and that are on display in that film. You know, they're
No, honestly,
very very well done.
with the
So
return, yeah, Return of the Living Dead. I really did enjoy this film.
yes,
I enjoyed again the characters, like the actors are playing characters, and the character instead, like that's the thing I noticed. The Dead series, they are playing serious. It's serious acting, serious. Like this is the character. It's no like exaggerated. This one's kind of exaggerated
I know which
character.
part you're thinking of, and it's the bit with the ambulance. Send
Yeah.
more paramedics.
Do you know what? I think
Zombies
there's
that
a
can
band.
talk.
I think there is a musicians band, and now I understand that band
Yes.
reference. All paramedics.
Yes, send more
So
paramedics.
it is
They
a
are a band
spoiler
and they are
kind of
that
a
is the
lot.
reference, yes.
Send more paramedics.
Yes, that is the reference. Yes.
Honestly, I I can see why they had a disagreement because Romero seems to have introduced the idea of thinking zombies a little further down the line,
Yeah, and this went straight into it.
and this one went straight into it.
Yeah.
And I've got to give props to both. Like the idea and
Oh
the
yeah,
premise is brilliant.
exactly.
The way
Exactly.
it
That's
is
why I love it.
delivered in this is obviously comedy horror, and it does work very fucking well.
It does.
The,
It
the
definitely
special
does.
effects still hold
Yeah.
just for what they are. You
Given
give it
given its
credit, and yeah,
age,
given
the
its
special
age and
effects
that, this
do
is
hold
it's
up.
a good film, and for Halloween, this is a good film.
Yeah.
This is a good popcorn film before you get to the serious film, which we'll get to, because how we'll cover that tonight, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. But right,
Yeah,
speaking of which, let's get this train a rolling.
yeah,
Time
no, the
for the
acting and
scores. You can go first.
3.5 out of 5 brains.
I am going to go with 4.5 graveyard dances with trash
Yeah.
out of 5. This one is it's one of the first zombie movies outside of Night of the Living Dead that I saw because I thought it was a sequel to Night of the Living Dead. And yeah,
Natural,
I
a
actually
complete and utter
remember
natural conclusion.
I actually remember when I got into it was year 7 high school, a bootleg copy of the VHS of this film made its way around like the entire
Yeah,
year. Like everybody watched it, and I
everybody got,
loved
yeah,
it.
past the party.
Absolutely loved it. So, moving on, our second film that we watched, we decided to go, you know what? Lovecraft's name's on this, and
Yeah,
Nicolas Cage is in it. So, let's give this a watch, shall we? We are talking H.P. Lovecraft's The Color Out of Space, starring Nick Cage. He's like billed everywhere on this freaking thing.
yeah, he is the main guy in
Yes.
this.
Now, the numbers here make me a little bit sad, but it is understandable why they're a little bit
Yeah,
wonky. Anyway,
yeah,
uh, the original release was January 24th, 2020.
yes.
Budget 6 to 12 million, box office 1 million, starring Nicolas Cage, Jolie Richardson, and Madeline Arthur. Now, the reason why we say you can kind of understand why the numbers are
Uh-huh.
low is it came out early 2020. So did lockdown.
Lockdown.
Yeah, there was kind
It
of a
didn't
global.
just hurt the catering business.
Yeah, there was kind of a global pandemic going on, and cinemas
Yeah,
got shut pretty much straight away. So
but just on that, and restaurants, cinemas,
yeah, we know
literally everything that was an entertainment base, we all got
exactly.
locked down. I
So
was there.
yes, you were working in a kitchen at the time.
I
But
was working
anyway,
at
regardless,
regardless.
so you can kind of understand why the box office numbers for this one
Yeah,
might be a little bit low. But when you look at like review scores and things like that,
yeah. When
it's
you look at the
actually done
review
quite
scores,
favorably. And
yeah,
we went into this one. This was the first time viewing for both of us.
Yes.
Right. So the general plot is Nicolas Cage lives with his family out in a house in the middle of freaking nowhere. His wife is recovering from cancer. The film opens with narration about like what's going on and everything. And the main plot of it is that a meteorite crashes one night and cascades everything in a wonderful pinkish, weirdish kind of color. And as it's described by Nicolas Cage himself, it's like no color I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And what goes on from there is just pure Lovecraft, cosmic horror, nonsensy, weird shit. That for a while I was sat there going, "What's going on?" And then it all kind of started to make sense as things went on, and I went,
Oh,
"Okay,
yeah.
this film has managed to get inside my brain and flicker it around a little bit, and I like that about a film. It got me thinking." And I will say that the beginning bit, I will say, is a little bit slow. That was my only complaint. The first sort of half an hour, it's a little bit like
It's a bit slow.
like what? When are we going to get to what's actually happening here? But in one way, that sets up the family. It introduces each member, so I kind of get it. But for me, it felt a little too slow. But by the end of it, you are sat there just like, oh my God,
Yeah.
this film, and I love it for it because not many films do this. It is beautifully grotesque and grotesquely beautiful.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say is the scene with the mother and the son.
Oh,
I had to look away occasionally during those scenes because that was just a bit too intense for me.
yeah.
I like a good body horror, but that is kind of where my ick factor starts to come in, and that pushed my ick factor just a little.
That pushed my processing power after I witnessed it. I was,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
my thoughts on this are fucking brilliant, and if you've not watched it, go and watch it. Jimmy, over to you.
Over to me.
No, to
No,
Jimmy, not to me.
to me.
I said to Jimmy, not to Timmy.
Go to me.
To me?
No.
Come here! Come here! Go on then, carry on.
Right. So no, getting it right. So it is based on the short story
Yeah.
from H.P. Lovecraft, and
I don't want the history. I want your thoughts.
I know my thoughts on it. It's actually his favourite one. Funnily enough,
Yeah.
trivia. I did do the research on this one. Excuse the stutter. You've put me off there with the first bit. Hang on. Taping. 3, 2, 1.
Put your teeth in.
Right, no, it's a this. I like this film a lot. This is very rewatchable.
Yes.
I intend on rewatching this film. It is a very well done. It is slow to begin with.
Yes.
As you say, it is. I agree with you on that. It is slow to get there,
But
but
once
once
it
it starts
does,
going, it does get going, and it gets going at quite the pace. And
yes.
it's rewatchable simply for the fact that if I go back to it now, I know some of it's going to fill in certain blanks that maybe I weren't. It's a very rewatchable
Yes.
film.
Yes. And you get to see Nick Cage at his Nick Cageiest at
This is
times.
Nick Cage Spinal Tap.
Yeah, turned it up to 11.
Just turn that thing up to 11. Right. And he does, and that's the beauty of this as well, because it's Nick Cage almost in the first half, as you say, the slower part of the film. It's Nick Cage turned right the way down. He's actually doing
it's not like 0 to 11 straight away. It's like
it's like
the film goes on. It's the roller coaster. You're waiting for that moment where he just goes whoosh straight down.
What? Yeah,
screaming.
It is with he was perfectly picked for the particular role he was placed in.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he is literally turning up the insanity level as the film goes, and it is reaching climax, and it is.
I will say, out of all the people in the film, the two performances that I liked the most were Nick Cage and the daughter played by
Madeline
Madeline
Arthur.
Arthur. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
those
Them
those
two,
those
them are
two
two
performances were
standouts.
brilliant. I'd like to actually see them two again together in
Yeah,
something because the
yeah,
chemistry they had bounced off each other
yeah.
brilliantly.
No, they were doing really well. She seems to be she's definitely the more sane of the bunch, and there
Yeah,
are
well,
even
to a point.
the amount of H.P. Lovecraft references are in it. There's even like a photo of him
Yes, and he says
in there.
he took his that's his dad.
Like, if you know your H.P. Lovecraft, the references that are
Yeah,
on
this
site
is definitely a
are
love letter to Lovecraft.
it
Yeah,
is a love letter to
definitely.
him. But the other standout for me has got to be Tommy Chong.
Oh, oh wow.
Of Cheek and Chong, of all the people you
I know.
wouldn't think,
I remember the film was starting and the name popped up. We were like, wait,
Tommy Chong is in
that
this film.
that Tommy Chong?
That
That
Tommy
Tommy
Chong
Chong.
is in this film,
That Tommy Chong
and
is in
he
this
is
fucking film.
literally playing a hermit in
Yeah,
the woods who is a hippie. He
yeah,
was an electrician, but he's given that up.
yeah. He lives completely off the grid.
Off the grid got, and honestly, he he delivers such an interesting line early in the film that makes it's Chong perfect. It makes zero sense
But you
at
get
the
it.
time.
You know what he's saying without him saying it.
Yeah, it makes zero sense. But as the film continues, it makes more
You're like,
sense.
all right, now I get it.
Yeah,
But moving it on. Oh, let's get to the scores.
you underscores.
Yeah. Oh, actually, one last thing I will say about it is the cinematography in this film,
Oh,
fucking
oh, it's
beautiful at
beautiful.
times. The color filters used, very much like From Beyond, another
Yeah,
Lovecraft work we've looked at recently. I
yeah.
could honestly see these two films being set in the same universe. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean the setting of it as well. It is literally there's a guy, what's his name? Elliot Knight plays Ward Phillips. He is literally a hydrologist
Yes.
from the Miskatonic
University, yes.
University, and has even got,
The shirt on, yes. Which
and it's
both
set
of us
just
clocked
outside of
that.
Arkham.
Both of us clocked that. We were like,
Like,
that's from
yeah, the
the
house
animator.
setting
That's the
is
animator.
literally just they're literally calling the Arkham Police Force.
Yes, yes,
So it's just set. It's so this is a love note. It is
yeah,
brilliantly set and brilliantly done. The cinematography is brilliant. It's
exactly.
very colourful and very
Oh yeah,
rewatchable.
treat for the eyes as well as the
Yeah,
ears and the senses.
so
But
I would highly recommend this. And
let's
for the
move on to the
score,
scores. Go on then. You can go first again.
I go first.
Uh-huh.
4 out of 5 visits to the attic.
Oh yeah. Um, I'm gonna match your four, and I'm gonna four cats called G Spot out of
Also,
five.
I was actually thinking the other reference. 4 out of 5 alpaca the car.
Oh no.
Come
Yeah, okay. Moving
back.
on very quickly to our final film of the night. And yeah, you got something to say?
Viewer discretion is
Viewer
advised.
discretion is advised here, but let me get to it, Jimmy.
Yeah.
This, as I said, is like a war of escalation. We went from a comedy horror with zombies to a cosmic horror with Nick Cage. To round the night off, I thought we'd do something really scary. Something
Yeah.
something that could actually physically happen to somebody. We went with the remake of I Spit on Your Grave. I have seen this film a grand total now of 3 times, and it's harder to watch each time. Let that say something coming from me, right?
Yeah,
So we'll get the numbers done first.
yeah.
I Spit on Your Grave, released October 18th, 2010. Budget 2 million. Box office $572,809. Starring Sarah Butler. I can understand why this film did so poorly at the box office. It is a hard watch. I
Yeah.
can imagine that anybody who even saw trailers for it was like, nope. So this film, along with one other, is the reason why we invented Jimmy's one nope per season clause in his signed in blood contract.
You want me to get that out of the way now? Because I've got two scores for this one. I've got the score of the film and the nope score.
Right, well, let's get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We can't obviously talk too much about the plot of this movie because
It is difficult to discuss the plot of this
yes,
film
all we will
without
say
YouTube hammer.
all I will say is that Sarah Butler plays a writer by the name of Jennifer Hills.
Yes.
She lives in the big city normally, but she's rented out a cabin for a couple of months to go and get away from everything so she can work on her first novel. Sounds like a sound plan.
Simple.
After a run-in with some local guys and a voyeuristic video, everything goes to hell. They descend upon her, and what they do to her, I'm not even going to say what they do to her, but what they do to her leads to some of the bloodiest, brutal, most justified vengeance even this demon over here has ever seen. Every moment she got payback, I sat there and went, they deserve that. Audibly would say, justified, justified, justified. So, without further ado, let's move this over to Mr. Jimmy Lee Clifford, watching this film 15 years after its release. What do you think of I Spit on Your Grave 2010 in the year 2025? Did you nope hard? Did you have to walk away or did you endure?
I did not know.
It's good you didn't nope. You made it through it, so
I made this through it. So now the nope score. And just to put into perspective the nope score, which I didn't previously potentially put into all credit. So shameless plug, going back a few episodes, the Evil Dead remake.
yeah.
I would score that on a nope score for me. About a 7.5-ish
Out of 10?
out of 10.
Or is it out of 5 and you just broke the gauge?
No, it's out of 10. That's out of 10.
Okay, but what about this film?
That was hard to get through with some of the
This,
gore on that remake.
yeah.
This
Top tip?
9.5 to 9.75. I was this close.
I knew you would be. I warned you going into it.
You warned me going into this, and I feel I brought it on myself with a certain comment of this seems like a really interesting film that I'm gonna have trouble dealing with. The first tiny bit of the film, the introduction, that's fine and easy to get through, but you are getting an overtone of a sinister nature, like something's not quite right.
Yeah, and it just gets
From the
worse
off.
from there.
Then it hits the main event of,
What happens? Yes.
and that's where it was hitting the 7.5 to a noper because I was struggling desperately. My title on this channel is The Speaker.
He had no words.
Perhaps you could tell them how quiet I was.
Normally, when we're watching a film, whether it's quite a gory one, quite a scary one, whatever, normally I have to, on more than one occasion, just nudge him and go, watch the film, you'll find out. This film, he was silent from start to finish. And even when the credits started rolling, you were still not sure of what to say.
No.
So let that sink in, folks. The speaker
This
was speechless.
highly, highly, highly recommend viewer discretion on this film, especially if you may have had certain life events that have unfortunately happened to you.
Yes, that is the one thing I will definitely say about this film is if you've been through the experiences, this film is so
Maybe
raw.
on view and footage.
This film is so raw and so real because, as we've talked about on this channel, around that time period, horror remakes were just giving it full hell for leather. They really were.
This is, by the way, the last two
wait.
films are technically remakes as well.
Right. But as you brought up the Evil Dead remake, that, like we said, took the comedy element out and just went full horror. This just took what the original did, which was quite a brutal film anyway, but this just made it worse.
I feel
Made
like
it
this
more
movie
real and more real and more raw and more in your face.
Yeah.
You know?
And the first part of the film is exceptionally difficult to get through.
Yes. Yeah.
And is unfortunately a necessary evil to get to the latter part of the
When
film.
you get to when Jennifer Hills makes her comeback and starts taking her brand of revenge out on these group of men, like I said, every single one, I sat there and said,
I did not feel sorry for any one of them.
Justified.
Maybe one character.
Yeah, but as I pointed out, if it weren't for him, none of it would have happened to begin with.
And that would be Chad Lindbergh.
Feel sorry for him, but it's still
Matthew Duncan. And for reasons, his character is, shall we say, and I'm going to try and put this as politely as possible, he is mentally challenged.
Yes.
In some respects.
They do use the R word a lot in this film. And that was another thing that I thought.
And this is a 2010 film.
Yeah, even back then, that was still a frowned upon word, and even more so nowadays. But the people that they're depicting in the area that they live in, it's kind of they drop that word like a full fucking stop sometimes.
Yeah. And it is even
product of its time. Product of its time.
It's not even a product of its time. It's a product of the area they happen to be residing in.
Yes, but anyway. So when she takes bloody vengeance, that's my alarm. I do apologize. I'm sorry. My phone is on silent. Anyway, moving on. We'll get this wrapped up now.
It's a good, honestly, this is a good film.
If you can get through it.
If you can get through it, and viewer discretion is highly advised.
Yeah.
And I would rewatch this film. However, it would be a rare rewatch.
Yeah, that's like me.
Getting through it once is
Once every
difficult to
couple of
watch.
years. Once every couple of years.
Yeah,
Not
this
once
is
a year
like
or once a month. No.
this
This
is
is
a once a blue moon.
this
This
is
is a
like,
once in a celestial event film.
you know, like it's one of those you only watch
Yeah,
a handful
it,
of times because it's so hot. Even like I said, I've seen it 3 times. It
yeah.
is
No, and I can
so
understand why.
difficult to get through.
Like I said, I did a bit of research, and like the original film,
Oh yes.
78, is known as a video nasty and one of the worst. It's apparently one of the worst films ever made. To make a list like that
Yes.
and still be a cult classic is a very rare unicorn thing to do. So this film being a remake of it,
Yeah.
it's
It's even more of a rare horse.
it's even more of a thing. And I've got to give absolute credits to every
Oh,
single the
yeah,
actors in there
to all the actors involved.
portraying the scenes that they're portraying. It is,
Yeah, like I said to you after we watched it, like you've got to give respect to them because that must have taken such a mental toll on them as actors
that it doesn't just take a
to do
mental
those
toll. You've
scenes
got to have balls of steel to make a film
like
of that
this.
nature.
Yeah, and to portray it and act it. I mean,
Yeah,
there's that famous story that James Masters, after he filmed a similar thing
yeah,
in Buffy, he was going to therapy for years
yeah.
over it because
No, I can imagine
it's a
why.
line you
And
don't.
honestly,
It's a line that's hard to cross as an actor.
yeah, no, it is. And in some respects, I feel like films like this, they deserve to be made in certain ways because, in a certain sense, they're kind of a therapy, and in certain other senses, they're not.
Do you know what? Right, I actually watched growing up with I Spit on Your Grave. We talked about this off camera. It's a documentary on Prime that's made by the son of the director of the original. He talks
Yeah.
about the original film and the remakes and everything. And I forgot where I was going with that.
The tangent train coming.
Yeah, the tandem train stopped at the station and everyone got off, and I forgot what I was doing.
Oh dear. No, this particular film was a very difficult film, obviously, to watch. I can imagine it was an immense task for them to make,
Oh yeah,
especially considering it's a remake of a film that already made that particular, a worst film ever. You know, it's and in some ways, yeah, films like this should exist, and then in other, I can kind of understand why certain films shouldn't exist.
yeah.
And this is sort of one of them that's between the lines in a
It
way.
is. It's one of those, and I think this is
It's
why I like this as a Halloween movie for me
yeah,
because the whole point of Halloween is getting scared, right?
yeah. This one scares you,
This one,
and not physically in some ways, mentally.
both actually.
Yeah, it's a it's
But for me, like you said, there's things that should exist on film. There's things that shouldn't.
yeah,
Something like this is a very graphic depiction of what actually happens out in the world.
or can.
Yeah, it can. This is why I said like when I first introduced it. Like, this is scary to me because this can happen to people. It's not a supernatural killer. It's not a monster in a fucking hockey mask. It's not a guy killing you in your dreams. It's not a guy in a Shatner mask with a big butcher knife coming at you.
No, no. This is
This
literally
is regular
sometimes the
people.
worst monsters are human.
This is regular fucking human beings. And what they do in this film is so deplorable that when it does get to the vengeance part of the movie,
You can't help
you're
but be
right there with her.
disappointed.
You are right there
Yeah,
on her side because it's like, yeah, if it had happened, I put myself in that spot. I'm like, if it had happened to me, I'd be doing the exact same fucking thing. I don't give a shit if I got sent to prison for the rest of my life afterwards. I'd go there with a freaking smile because I know that 4 or 5 human beings who are the absolute worst example of human beings are no longer on this planet and doing the exact same thing to some fucker else.
yeah.
So, powerful statement about a powerful movie.
Yeah.
Not a bad movie. It's just
Not a bad movie.
what
no.
it shows you is it holds up a mirror to the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to
You
get
get
more
no,
shush. Yes. Gonna have
push.
to wrap it up here now. That's my computer telling me it's time to finish up.
Score. Let's go to
Score.
score.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go in the middle with this, and I'm gonna go with because you do out of 5. I'm gonna do 3 because of just of how hard it is to get through. 3 out
Yeah.
of 5. Just because of how hard it is to get through that first part of the film. If I was scoring just the second half of the film,
Yeah.
it would be a 4.5. But because of that hard bit to get through at the beginning, I'm only putting it as a 3.
I think, to be honest, I'm going to follow you on that one and not even go with references from the film on this one.
No.
Simply because I am going to go with a flat 4, simply because I'm giving props to just how difficult a film this was
To make, yeah.
to make,
Yeah.
right? And simply because just how well it is made, it is just a very well made, very unfortunately very real
Yeah.
horror film
And do
for
you know
all
what,
the
right?
right reasons, and just a very difficult. I can't believe they even managed to make this, or I
Before we
can't
wrap
even
it up,
believe they
though,
managed to make this film and then remake this film and have sequels.
before we wrap it up, though, before we say our goodnights and everything, isn't it kind of ironic that we've talked about zombies, we've talked about cosmic entities
Yeah,
from outside of our reality?
yeah,
What is the scariest thing on our list tonight?
something to do with humans.
Other people.
Yeah,
Humans are the scariest thing we've had to watch for our Halloween episode. Let
yeah,
that be, I think, a bit of a lesson to the world that if we can watch cosmic horror films and be like, that was awesome, but then we can watch a film like I Spit on Your Grave and go, my God, we really are a sick race of people, aren't we? I mean,
paraphrasing George Carlin in one of his many.
so here we go with
I'm sorry, but I feel this
St.
one's
Carlin.
better. There are a lot of things other animals do to each other, but they won't do what humans do to each other.
Exactly. And on that note, time to say goodnight, Jim.
Night, Jim. Bye.
Good night, my sweet tortured souls. And remember, if you can't be good, be twisted. Don't get mad, baby. Get sadistic. Mwah. Night, night. Bye.